Hey guys, this is my, I hope everybody had a nice Super Bowl Sunday yesterday. Uh, the Ravens won. I was happy. I love the 49ers, but I didn't want them to tie my Steelers. But anyway, the electrical outage was crazy, and that actually happened in Assembly Hall when Indiana played North Carolina a little this year. I don't know if any of you remember that, but okay, so this is my top 10 for week 14. We're just moving right along. I can't believe we're into February. March Madness is very close. So, without putting it off anymore, let's dig into this. Honorable mention, Arizona, Michigan State. Coming in down 3 spots at number 10, 18-3, Syracuse Orangemen. They lost one game this week at Pitt, 65-55. I don't know, Syracuse is, I don't know, new into the poll. Well, they've been in my poll before, but, new. Because last week they wasn't. Coming in at 18-4 is Louisville. They were 2-0 this week. They beat Pitt 64-61, and they beat Marquette 70-51. But man, have they really had a tough few days. I mean, man, I don't know, but I wouldn't count them out. I guarantee you that. So, coming in at number 8, 17-4 on the U. They're up one spot at the Ohio State Buckeyes. I still believe in this team, like I've said before. And this team, I can see them doing some damage down the road. I think they're a good team. I just do. They beat Wisconsin 58-49, and they won against Nebraska at Nebraska 63-56. The Ohio State, I think they're good. I mean, heck, they beat Michigan. So, had number 7 down 4 spots, 19-2. It's the Kansas Jayhawks. I still think they're a good team. I just think I don't know what's going on with them. They went 1-1 this week. They won against West Virginia 61-56, and then they lost against Oklahoma State 85-80, and that was Saturday. And I seen just the end of it, and it just seemed like Oklahoma State was on the. I don't know, they were just on a mission. But I still think Kansas, most of them guys were on the team last year that made it to the national championship game. They lost one player, and he was really good. But still, that right there gives them somewhat of an advantage. Staying the same at 21-2 is the Gonzaga Bulldogs. And like I've said, I think Mark Few, this may be his best team that he's ever had at Gonzaga. They may be in being still for some special accomplishments this year. Final Four, who knows? They went 2-0 this week. They beat Loyola Marymount 88-3, and that was at Loyola. And then at San Diego, they won 65-63. I don't know. I think Gonzaga is one of the best coach teams in the land. That alone puts them up puts them higher than a lot of teams with more talent, I think. New to the poll, a shocker, but man, I just can't. I think everybody overlooked them. I think I have too, and I just can't. I cannot keep them out of the top 5. They're 17-3. Is the Miami Hurricanes. They're 8-0 in the ACC right now. They killed Duke. This week they played Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech, 73-64 win, and at North Carolina State, 79-78. And they have, like, let's see, 8 or 9 out of the top 10 schools from last year. They came back. So, I don't know, man. Miami's a really good team. I don't care what anybody says. I overlooked them. So that's why, it's the first time a new team hopped up that high to number 5 in my poll, but you can't deny it. This team is just playing with fire, and I don't know. I think they'd give Indiana one full of money. Upland spot, 19-2, number 4, Duke Blue Devils. 2-0 this week at Wake Forest. They won 75-70, and at Florida State they won 79-60. Duke, I'm just not worried about them. I'm thinking they'll final pool bound. Coach K is the best coach in the country, hands down. And look out. I still think they're extremely dangerous, extremely good. I don't know, by the end of the season they'll be even playing better. It's just, that's the thing. All great teams are going to have ups and downs during the season. You just have to keep pushing, and I guarantee you Duke's going to keep pushing. Then number 3, down one spot at 22, Michigan Wolverines. 1-1 this week. They beat Northwestern 68-46, and then they lost to IU 81-73. This team's good, even though they lost to Indiana. Indiana is, it was in Bloomington, and Michigan had a young team, a very young team, and they got off to a horrible start in Bloomington. And you could just tell it was typical freshman, young team mistakes and butterflies, and they will start to sink out of it that first few minutes, and Indiana came out firing 6 for 6. The first 6 shots of the game they hit, but they battled back, and I'm telling you, I think Michigan's still good even though they lost, and that's why they only fell one spot. And that's just how it is. Number 2, down one spot, 2-0 this week, 18-2 overall, is the Florida Gators. They beat South Carolina 75-36. Did you hear that? 36. Their defense is just, I think it was a school record. South Carolina could not score more than 36. And Frank Martin's the coach, the old coach from Kansas State. He's a good coach, I think. And Florida just absolutely shut them down. And then they beat Ole Miss 78-64. And that Ole Miss team is pretty good. So, you just can't beat it. Florida is, I don't know. They are in a weak conference, but they're making the teams they're playing look like they're on a weak conference. See, that's why you can't penalize them. You just can't. It's one thing to have a cupcake schedule, and not play them like little cupcake, but if you make them look like cupcakes, you can't penalize them, and I tell you, Florida is making the SEC look weak, as they are. So, I don't know. Then at number 1, up 3 spots, 1-2 overall, Indiana Hoosiers. They beat Michigan Well, let's see. They went 2-0 this week. They went at Purdue, won 97-60. It's the biggest blowout ever in the rivalry between Indiana and Purdue. Absolutely crazy how they played at Purdue. And then at home against Michigan, 81-73, and they played really good there too. So Indiana is looking. I knew the winner of the Indiana-Michigan game, I'd probably put them up #1 and bump Florida down a spot. But, depending on how Indiana plays and how Florida plays this week, Florida could easily move up above Indiana. But this is the first time in my poll that a #1 team fell from #1 not losing. But it could happen again next week is what I'm saying. But, yeah, I kind of fell behind in vlogs, and so I'm just going to make this, I'm not going to make this any longer than what it is, and I just want to keep up on these vlogs and keep them up to date. So, I don't know. Indiana don't play till Thursday, and who knows what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I don't know. Okay, but until tomorrow, hope everybody has a nice night. Peace.